Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey, and we're about to have a little bit of fun. How goes it, guys? Hope you're all well. Hope everybody had a great day. Mine was fine. Nothing worth talking about. Just another day in the life. So let's go ahead and get into what's going on in the world. And there's not much. There's really not much that I paid attention to, at least. I wasn't all that busy today. So, you know, maybe there was some other what is this? People bothering me on my phone when I'm in the middle of a show. Actually, that all came through before. I just happen to notice it right now. I'm going to blame it on other people though, because I am professional and I would never, never get distracted by stuff that's not related to the show during a show. How dare you? How dare you suggest such a thing? I guess the first story up in the queue there. We got to talk about Nancy Pelosi. Thank you. This is Kyle. Says hello, chat people and monkey. Hello, Kyle. Hope you're well. They unveiled the long-awaited portrait of Nancy Pelosi in the Speaker's Hall today, and apparently, she started sitting for this way back when she was in her 30s. I have, I have no idea where this picture is old. I don't know which one that they decided to paint her from, but she still got the Hillary Clinton hair and her right eye into her breast there. So it feels like they're being extremely generous to her, if I'm being honest. She's she's looking much better there than she is in person. Um wow, so many things to talk about with Nancy Pelosi. I want to start with this guy that I saw who said that well, fuck it, let's bring it up. I'm sure I have it here. Yeah. Uh some of these people. The official portrait of Speaker Nancy Pelosi was unveiled today. I sit here sobbing because there's never going to be another leader quite like her. She's an icon, a badass, and truly the greatest of all time. Dun dun dun. Don't worry, dude. There'll be plenty of other people who use their position of power to make themselves very, very wealthy. There'll be plenty of them coming along. That's kind of what a lot of these assholes do. But sobbing, I sit here sobbing because they hung a picture up. Really? What kind of fucked up religious thinking is that? Did you also like bow your head and pray 5 times towards the direction of where they hung this up? What the fuck? I sit here sobbing. This is a grown ass man. This is a grown ass man. I sit here sobbing. There's never going to be another like her. All right. How much do you guys actually know about what the Speaker of the House does? Seriously. I mean, we all know who they are. We all know that they are the leader of their party in the House at the time. But can you really talk about how much they've accomplished, how much they've done? Like Nancy Pelosi, for instance. What did she accomplish? And when I say what did she accomplish, I want to be clear here. Her specifically. Not something like Obamacare where it's dropped in her lap and she lets the insurance agencies come in and write it for her and then literally says, "We'll read it after we pass it." We'll read it after we pass it. This was the Speaker of the House going, "Yeah, we don't know what the hell's in this bill, but we're going to pass it anyway." That's not a leader. That's a retard is what that is. That is somebody you don't want in leadership. And for anybody who's questioning, yes, she absolutely did that. She absolutely said, we'll read it after we pass it." Why are you voting to pass it if you don't know what the hell's in it? But I mean, I'm trying to think of something I can point to that is a Nancy Pelosi accomplishment. And I can't. I can't think of any, honestly. I mean, I guess she kind of got her party in order in the House to get a couple of things passed this year, but they weren't things that originated from her to begin with. They were White House goals. So, I mean, January 6th, yeah, I guess you can put that. You can give her credit for that. They were warned about stuff that could happen and they let it happen anyway. So, yeah, good job there, Nancy. Good job. I love this kind of shit. Like the greatest ever. It's the Speaker of the House. You don't know fuck all of what she's even done. You've been told, look, woman. And so you started clapping like a trained seal because you're an idiot. That's what happened. And it doesn't matter what woman it is. It doesn't matter what accomplishments they are. As long as they had that D behind their name, you'd be clapping like a fucking idiot because that's what you do. Because it is. It's a cult over there on the left right now. And good God, it's scary to watch. It really is. I got in an argument with somebody. Oh, so excuse me. My cousin got in an argument with somebody the other day who said that they trusted Joe Biden. And I was like, oh, okay, why? Why? And I asked him, I said, without looking it up, can you tell me why Joe dropped out of the 1988 presidential race? And they said, I'm not looking that up. It doesn't matter. I trust him. Why? The guy's a known liar. I mean, he's a known liar and a hypocrite. Why would you trust him? But they trust him because, well, he's, the leader of their cult. He's the designated savior of the world. There are people who are actually out there. He's the greatest president ever. 6 years ago, you guys were telling me that was Obama. And you're telling me that in the last 2 years, Biden has done more than Obama did in 8? Really? But no, because it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with whether or not they actually believe it. It's whoever's at the top. You have to hold them up. That is the Mola Ram. That's the person who you bow to, and you better bow or they'll kick you out. But it is amazing that Joe Biden has supplanted the first black president as the greatest president ever. And they'll tell you this. Oh, yes, he's the greatest president ever. Well, what's he done? Oh, 10 million jobs. Okay, take out all of the jobs that were just jobs coming back from COVID. How many's he got? Last I knew, it was less than 500,000. No president in history, if I remember correctly, it's not actually in a recession, has had the first 2 years of their presidency have less than 500,000 jobs created. That's over 2 years, y'all. That's a minuscule number. But they're we got the 10 million jobs. Shut up, you're liars. You're liars. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the cult is what matters. The religion is what matters. Pushing the narrative is what matters. Because you can't just have a good president. You can't just have an okay president. He's got to be the best man to ever hold the job ever. Like with Pelosi. It can't be she was an okay. Just give her credit for being the first woman speaker. I saw a story that said she becomes the first woman to have her picture hung up in the speaker's gallery. Well, yeah, because she's the first woman speaker, dumbass. It's kind of redundant to say she's the first. Why would they have one of a woman if they hadn't had a woman speaker before? For fuck's sake. God damn. But she's the first to have her picture up. Can we get a clap for Nancy getting her picture up? Because that's the important part of what she is to the history of the country, is that she got her picture up. Christ almighty. What's up, Jack?
How's it going?
Just dogging on the Democrats for being a cult.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
How you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm all right. How about yourself?
No real complaints, if I'm being honest. So, my internet just had a spasm, so sorry about that.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
You can hear me now, right?
Yes, I can.
Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, just pointing out, they're making a big deal out of Nancy getting this picture up and people she's the greatest ever. Jack, let me ask you this. Could you honestly rank speakers of the House?
No.
Me neither.
Her and John Boehner?
I mean, I know Boehner. I mean, Tip O'Neill, Gingrich. I know a lot of them from over the years, but I couldn't tell you which one you could point to and go, that was a really good Speaker of the House. Even Gingrich, who did a good job getting to that point, he became so obsessed with making a presidential run after that. I can't say that the man was a great Speaker of the House. He kind of pissed it all away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the greatest Speaker of the House. There's one guy said he was sobbing, Jack, because they hung her picture. Sobbing.
That was Boehner, wasn't it?
It's this dude named Ricky Davila.
Yeah, God.
He's a musician, if I remember correctly. Let's see. He is a singer, songwriter, political junkie, chef, foodie, and you can find his music at the Apple Store. He is followed by Eric Swalwell, Joanne Reed, and 4 other people that I follow, or that my cousin follows.
Oh.
Yeah, so not a small account, 296,000 people. I don't know who the fuck the guy is, but apparently he's a pussy. He cried over a picture being hung.
Yeah.
She was truly a badass, you guys. How?
She could probably drink both of us under the table, to be fair.
I was about to say, I have a lot of respect for how she is still able to stand up when she is so obviously drunk. I mean, that takes some talent. That takes some real talent. But other than that, I can't tell you what this woman has accomplished that you would say she's great for. Thank you, Septus Wolf. Came from Satsu's stream. He says, hi. Well, tell him I said hello. Yeah, so fuck these people in their Nancy worship, and fuck them in their Joe Biden worship, and fuck them with everybody who pops up that becomes an icon for them, becomes the greatest person of all time ever. Shut up. There's no like, he's an okay guy over there on the Democratic side. There's no, she's an all right woman. It's always, they're the best. They're the best around. Nothing's gonna. Anyway, there's no moderation there. There's no like, nobody's average. Nobody's okay. It's always they're the best of the best because that other side sucks dookie ass. I don't know why it's dookie.
Yeah.
That's kind of gross. My bad, y'all. My bad. I went a little too far there with dookie ass.
No, I think you covered their mentality pretty well.
So yeah, she got her picture hung up, and yay. I don't care other than the fact it's funny that people are losing their shit over it. And you weren't here for this, Jack, but I saw a newspaper article that said she becomes the first woman to have her picture hung in the speaker's gallery. Because she was
the first female one, right?
She's the only female speaker we've ever had. So
yeah, then that sentence makes no fucking sense.
It's bragging for no reason to brag. Yes, she is. And Jack, I don't know if you saw the picture. I want to point it out one more time for those who missed it at the beginning of the show, guys. They definitely did not go with a current picture.
Oh God, no.
Her left eye is not touching her boob, and she doesn't have that Joe Biden haircut. She has the Hillary Clinton haircut still.
Yeah, that's like Nancy Pelosi circa 1993.
Yeah, this is before she switched up the vodka for tequila.
Yeah.
This is before the infant alcohol syndrome that she was giving herself kicked in.
Well, she didn't want to frighten the children with her painting. They could have just put up a picture of Cookie Monster then.
I love the picture. It's a great picture, Nancy. You should be proud of that. And whoever painted it, good job.
Yeah, it's well done.
I think you just should have went with the more recent time that she became speaker, because this is obviously from her first run as speaker back in 2008, I think it was. So, I mean, you should have aged this a little bit more. I mean, she did become speaker twice. She's also the only woman to ever lose the speakership twice. I just need to point that out. The only one to ever lose it twice. She didn't step down. It was taken from her because she sucks at her job. But anyway, yeah, so there it is. I love that she has a pearl necklace. We know that her husband never gave her one of those because he's doing that to guys. Or maybe he gave her that so she'd stay quiet about the other pearl necklaces he gives out.
Hello from column A, hello from column B.
Speaking of which, he was in the news today. Paul Pelosi, not because of him, but because his little attacker was in court today, and we had a police officer get up there and tell us what he saw when he got to the house.
I saw two dudes wrestling around in their underwear.
Frosted Glass, thank you. Hardest part was converting it from sepia tone. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, so this is what I'm not pulling up an article. It's really short. The guy says he saw the two guys, Pelosi and DePaula, is that his name? To whatever, Hammerman. We'll just call him MC Hammer. MC Hammer and Paul Pelosi both had their hand on the hammer when the police got there and could see them. We're getting some very curious, different ideas about what happened here. Because we're back to, okay, all right, who opened the door? Because if the first thing the police see is both of these guys holding on to the hammer, that would, and they were the only two people home, one of them would have had to open the door, which means the other one necessarily would have had to been right next to the door as well. Am I wrong on that?
No, but then again, the testimony that was originally reported from NBC was that Paul opened the door and then walked back over to the guy with the hammer.
Yes.
And that's when they started fighting over the hammer.
But this is the police officer's testimony in court. So, again, I say release all footage. Let's see what actually happened. But apparently, the guy did it because of evil in Washington. That's what we're told. I don't know why he would attack his gay lover with a hammer over shit happening in Washington. Nancy wasn't at home.
You never know what people are going to take their rage out on.
I guess so. And I don't mean to suggest that Paul Pelosi is a gay man using Nancy as a beard and coming on the necks of men. So if I gave that impression, I apologize. That's not what I was saying. Yeah, I'm just saying he's absolutely a gay man who hired a prostitute. Shit went wrong, and they came up with this cover story.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's absolutely a gay man who comes inside of other dudes.
Well, look, I don't know if he's a top or a bottom, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, according to the police officer, they both had their hand on the hammer there, and they said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And for some reason, Paul lets go of it, and he gets smacked in the head with the hammer, and a police officer tackles the guy, and then he had Paul's juices on him. That last part is in the penumbra.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what the hammer was for. It's like the conch, the whoever wields the hammer gets to be the top.
Could be.
Yeah, they get to wear the Thor hat. I don't know.
I mean, it could be like that baseball thing where you take a baseball bat and you guys take turns going up to the end of the bat, and whoever gets to the top is the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with a hammer and gay sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, you're going to hammer it in.
It's just kind of weird. It's kind of weird, and none of it's making sense. Release the camera footage. We know that at the very least there should be camera footage from outside the house.
Yeah. Well, and the body cams should all be wearing body cams. So
I would imagine so. We do know that they also released they played the 911 tape in court today. Where apparently the attacker says his name. I don't know why. I haven't seen the transcripts. But they're not allowing cameras or any real recording devices into the courtroom. So we'll have to see. I don't know why they're not allowing it in.
Oh, we know why.
Yeah, we know why. Because when he gets up there and says, Paul's a beautiful lover, it's going to just throw all kinds of shit out the window.
Yeah.
All right,
It
guys,
was
that's
my turn to top, and I had the hammer, and Paul didn't like that, so we wrestled for it. And then that sexy cop came in, and it got really sexy.
guys, if you're over there on the Rumble, and I do see it, make sure you hit the Rumble button. If you're over there on the YouTube, make sure you hit the like button. And if you can, consider donating to Jack or myself. The link is at the top of your chat. Okay, let's move on to Elon. I feel like we've been talking about Elon a lot lately.
You can't stop being in the news.
Well, today the news is mad at Elon, Jack. They're mad because he banned somebody from Twitter today.
Oh, whoopsie doodle.
He banned somebody from Twitter. Um, should we do the tweets where he explains it first? Yeah, let's do that first. And then we'll look at. I really am interested in this one because of how the news has covered it so far.
Oh, let me guess. This was some right-wing political commentator who was unjustly banned because of their political beliefs.
No.
Oh.
Any account doxing real-time location information of anyone will be suspended as it is a physical safety violation. This includes posting links to sites with real-time location info, posting locations someone traveled to on a slightly delayed basis isn't a safety problem, so it's okay. Last night, car carrying little X in LA, little X, by the way, that's his kid. This is his kid. A car carrying little X in LA was followed by a crazy stalker thinking it was me, who later blocked the car from moving and climbed onto the hood.
Jesus Christ.
Legal action is being taken against Sweeney and organizations who support harm to my family. And then he posts a video here. This is the person who was fucking with his kid. Now, this is all coming out, Jack, because this account run by this guy, is it John or Jack Sweeney? I can't remember. It's a 20-year-old college student who posts real-time information of where Elon's plane is, which includes when it takeoffs and lands.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird and very stalkerish. And I get why he would ban this, especially after his kid was put in danger, but because of some psycho like this.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't have an issue with that. Real-time movement data, you're really dancing close to accessory at that point.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I'm with him on the idea that, hey, if you want to post it a little bit later, this is where it was, say, 5 hours ago. Cool. This is where he is right now. This is some Antifa level shit. Now, I don't know this Sweeney account, but according to the Washington Post, which is the arbiter of truth.
Oh yeah.
He's a big fan of Elon Musk, and he only does this because he thinks Elon Musk is really, really cool. He's really cool.
I'm hitting X to doubt. Also, it doesn't matter. You're putting him and his kid in danger, obviously, and he's got like 7 or 8 kids.
I don't know. He's got several, I know. And yeah, there's a good chance that sometimes it's not going to be him on that plane.
Yeah, and obviously this is a security issue. And they've done this before with Antifa, where they've posted people's location. So
and
it's
again,
not that surprising.
I don't know if this guy's related to them or not. As far as I know, he's not, but it's the same kind of shit. Like, hey, this is where he is. And even if this guy is like, hey, I like Elon Musk, it is the kind of stuff that somebody who doesn't like Elon Musk would be like, oh, he's where? Yeah, we're being told 9 kids. Damn, Elon. By the time, the government gets done with all his money, your kids aren't going to have nothing left. That inheritance tax is a bitch, Jack.
Yeah.
Now, I want to check out a couple of different stories here to see how the Washington Post covers these kind of things. Now, the first one, this is not the first one. That's the second one. This is the first one. Twitter dissolves Trust and Safety Council. This is from the other day, Jack. This is from the 12th, but the part we want is way down here. Right here. Joel Roth, Twitter's former head of trust and safety, and his family were forced from their home after Elon Musk's tweet misrepresented Roth's academic writing about sexuality, activity, and children. We read that. It was not, there was no misrepresentation. The dude was saying they needed to have it so gay teens could be on Grindr. We the last thing we want is to chase them away, is what he said, Jack. That's what Yoel said. The last thing we want, or no, what did he say? The or the worst, or at worst, something like that. Giving the idea that the worst thing you could do is get teens off a gay sex app. I know, right? Right. And don't forget, this is the same man who wrote a story asking whether or not it's ever okay for teenagers and their teachers to have sex, Jack.
What's in your hard drive?
Misrepresented. But do you see this? He was forced to flee his home. The online mob also sent threats to people Roth had replied to on Twitter, forcing some of Roth's family and friends to delete their Twitter accounts, according to a person familiar with Roth's situation who spoke on the condition of anonymity. You know, due to concerns about Roth's safety, they spoke on condition of anonymity about how unsafe he is, but they had to be anonymous for his safety. Jesus. If you guys could see me right now, I'm just blinking because I don't understand how any of that makes sense.
It makes sense if you squint real hard and get a head injury from Paul Pelosi's boyfriend.
All right, now this is how they're covering the current story. Musk bans Twitter account tracking his jet, threatens to sue creator. Twitter suspended, restored, and then suspended again the 20-year-old college student's account that for years had shared publicly available data on Musk's private flights. Publicly available data. For the record, Joel Roth's little thesis was publicly available data.
It was, until they took it down and hid it from everybody.
The story that he wrote about whether or not it's okay for teachers to bang their students, publicly available. That, you know, we didn't see anywhere in that story about him. Publicly available. Anyway. Jack Sweeney, a sophomore at the University of Central Florida, was a big fan of billionaire industrialist Elon Musk. In 2020, Sweeney launched a Twitter account, ElonJet, that used public air travel data to map the... Do you like how they linked it? They linked the public air travel data to map the flights of Elon's private jet, thinking it'd be cool to track how Musk managed his business empire. But when Sweeney woke up on Wednesday morning, he was stunned to see that the 530,000 follower account on Twitter, the social media platform Musk bought in October, had been permanently suspended without explanation.
Oh.
A notice on Sweeney's Twitter account said only that the company had, after careful review, determined your account broke the Twitter rules, without saying which rules it broke. Yeah, welcome to my world, motherfucker. On Wednesday evening, the account was briefly restored, with Twitter outlining new rules seemingly designed to prevent Sweeney from posting the real-time location of planes used by Musk and other public figures. For the record, I don't know if you noticed that. It wasn't just, hey, if you give my real-time information, you're going to be banned. You give anybody's real-time information. Almost like they're applying it to everybody.
Yeah, almost like it's a consistent, equally applied measure. Yeah. Oh, he's such a monster, that Elon.
Sweeney over Twitter asked Musk how long he would have to delay the data to comply. But Wednesday evening, Musk threatened to escalate the conflict against Sweeney, saying a car carrying Musk's son, X, however you're supposed to pronounce that name, had been followed by a crazy stalker in Los Angeles, implying without providing evidence that location data had been a factor in the purported episode.
Well, it would be a lot easier to find somebody if you have their location data.
Did you catch the difference there? Over there, when we're talking about Yoel getting mean words said to him on Twitter, it's he was being threatened, so his family had to go. Did they say we didn't see any evidence of this? We didn't see evidence saying he needed to move. No. None of that shit exists. But over here, when Elon's kid is stopped by a car and somebody jumps on the hood of his fucking car, they're like, I mean, there's no evidence to support that it was because of the plane tracking data.
No, it's just some masked individual looking to jump on a car. Yeah, whatever, dude. This is a legitimate concern for any parent.
Musk is self-described free speech absolutists have been critical of Sweeney's account, but pledged last month to keep it online, tweeting, "My commitment to free speech extends even to not banning the account following my plane, even though it's a direct personal safety risk." I saw that tweet from him retweeted over and over again. They're like, see, he's not really for it. Yeah, he had a moment of clarity when his kid became involved.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but obviously a lot of these people don't have kids, or they have kids they don't care about, because he's obviously concerned about his child and his child's safety. And some nutbar jumping out trying to grab his kid, or worse, mistaking him for his kid for him. Somebody's going to get hurt, and he doesn't want his child being the one to get hurt.
But to Sweeney, the abrupt suspension suggests Musk's commitment to free expression ended as soon as it involved Musk's personal life. His kid, you cunt. I mean, this looks horrible. He literally said he was keeping my account up for free speech. He's trying to bring the company to profitability, and this is the last thing he needs. Yeah. Sorry, I'm with Elon on this one.
Yeah, I am too. I don't have kids, but I understand that child safety is important. And although the pedophiles don't seem to care too much, I don't want Elon's kid getting hurt because some lunatic thinks it's him.
Yeah, so I just love the difference in how the Washington Post tells these two stories.
Yeah, and like Mass said, suddenly they're concerned about free speech.
Yeah. When it comes to hurting Elon's child, suddenly we need the free speech, all the free speech. This is terrorizing a child. How the fuck do you square that?
Well, they let a lot of maps on.
The big question is whether or not he's free speech. See, he's not really for free speech. Mehdi Hassan put out a thing saying, "I told you so. Go fuck yourself." Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist $12. Why would you want to ban the account activity tracking your plane's location and having your child attacked? Must be fascist. Also, did the integrity check find any more bad files? No, it didn't. Thank you for asking. We've been having problems with Phasmo, and Dark was trying to help me figure it out. And he goes, "Have you done a verification of the files?" I'm like, "Oh shit, no, I haven't." So I did it, and I found one bad file. So we'll have to see if that fixes things tonight. But I did run it a second time, and it didn't find any other bad files. So, but yeah, this nonsense, like, oh my god, he's obviously not for the free speech. If you can't see why this is an issue, then you're just a shithead. And yeah, you know what? It is publicly available information. If you're such a fucking spaz that you're going to the FAA and you know the tail number of his plane, and you're like, okay, I can look this up. Fine, yes. But there's a whole world of difference between somebody actually taking the time to do that and another person who is publicly posting that shit every time the plane goes into the air. So I don't know what to tell you if you can't see the difference here. And I'm okay. And not just for Elon, for everybody, for all of those fucking shithead Hollywood nonsense commie pieces of shit out there. For all of them who have their private planes while telling you shouldn't be using your truck because it causes too much global warming. I don't want them being tracked in real time either. I don't want people out there going, look, this is where you can find them, because there's too many fucking crazies out there going, oh, that's where I can find them.
Yeah.
Same reason I don't think politicians' addresses should be put online, Jack. Yes, there are public servants, but when they go home to their families, leave them the fuck alone. Anyway.
Yeah, otherwise you end up exposing like Paul Pelosi and his boyfriend.
Talk to the FAA. I'm only stating what is currently, I'm guessing, available. Yeah, it's currently available. If you know Elon's plane number. How many of you guys know that without looking it up? So,
Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. For once, Monkey's game problem may not be related to his shitty internet. Maybe the keyword there, LOL.
We'll find out. We'll find out. Yeah, we had a lot of fun last night. We went, did all of the Christmas things. So I got my little Christmas snow globe. It's a little, a little trinket they give you, Jack.
Oh, that'll be useful. Can you throw it at a ghost?
No, it just sits in my base and looks pretty.
Oh,
don't judge me.
It's way too late for that, buddy. Now, I was asked to ask your opinion on the Marriage Act.
The new Respect for Marriage Act?
Yeah.
A couple of things. One, it's unnecessary. Two, it's funny to me watching these politicians standing up there patting themselves on the back for passing a law that literally means nothing because Supreme Court precedent already covers it.
Yeah, did Obama sign the Defense of Marriage Act thing back like 2008 or 2012? Something that said like,
was it him?
Gays could get married.
I don't remember who signed defensive. Wasn't it Bush who signed that?
I think that was Bush, but there's one that Obama signed that said the gays could marry, that Obama signed.
None of that stuff came into being until after the Supreme Court settled Oberfeld.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the wrong name for it. It's not the Defense of Marriage. It's something Obama signed for the gays back after the Supreme Court said the gays could marry.
Yeah, I mean, this is already out there. And this is all supposedly in response to the Supreme Court decision, and not even the decision itself, the concurring opinion from Justice Thomas, where he said that, hey, the court is finally looking and saying that not plausible deniability. What the fuck is it? Substantive due process isn't really a thing. And even in the main opinion, they say that this doesn't affect any other case. It's just Roe. But he points out that, look, this is nonsense. This is made up bullshit. We need to look at every case that has been decided. And he mentions Griswold. He mentions Oberfeld. I forget the other ones mentioned in there. And then he says, this is the part they always skip, that the laws may still be upheld under other constitutional grounds, specifically the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. And they never bring that up. But this gives the Democrats the chance to stand up and go, look, we stood up for gay marriage that wasn't in any way in threat. Thank you, S. Cybertaz. Monkey Jack is one weird type of cheese.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's like Monterey Jack, but more like the discount brand.
A little hairier.
Yeah. No, I think this was really designed to force churches into having gay weddings.
Well, it was just mentioned in chat that it removes tax exemptions for churches who won't do gay weddings. That will not stand up in court. That will get shot down. That you can't force them that way. It's nonsense.
But the important thing is that they get to destroy a lot of Christians in the process.
But they won't. That's the thing. This doesn't really affect anything.
Oh, but they'll try and make it happen. I mean, if they can't destroy
And
a baker, they're going after the churches.
why in the hell do you want to get married at a church that doesn't want to marry you in the first place? I don't understand this kind of shit.
Revenge.
Well, yeah, because that's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah. It's about,
But as to the decision itself to pass this stupid thing, it's just virtue. It's literally virtue signaling.
yeah. I'm hoping somebody tries to pull this crap at a mosque.
And for the record, this is the kind of shit. If they wanted to pass Roe, if they wanted to pass Oberfeld, however you say that, all of that should have been passed through Congress. It shouldn't have been going through the Supreme Court.
No. That would require them to have votes and people on their side when they
It would
can just force you to take it.
It would require them to actually stand up and take a side. And
Yeah, no.
they're a
that's
bunch
not
of
happening.
pussies.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter which side you're talking about here. Remember, Barack Obama was not for gay marriage. He spent most of his time in public life against gay marriage
Until it suited his needs.
until after, it became all right, we'll go ahead and go with the gays. They still didn't pass anything through Congress. And we see this with Congress all the time. Roe wouldn't have had to be an issue if they would have passed it through Congress, because Congress does have the ability to make that law, honestly. They can just do it under the Interstate Commerce Act, Jack.
Yeah. Sounds like some responsibility taking, and well, we like getting reelected. Thank you.
Yeah, and we've seen this stuff with like War Powers Acts and stuff. Like, we're gonna let the president decide if he wants to go to war. That way, later we can say, hey, I only gave him that power thinking he would use it responsibly. Thank you, Sir Adamantine. Well, at least interracial marriage is now allowed. Finally, yes. Finally, interracial couples can get married. Good old Clarence and Ginny can make it legal. They've been living in sin until they finally sign this stupid thing that's already a legality. Fuck off. I don't know who falls for this shit. I really don't. It is such a political move. But thank you for that donation, Addie. I really do appreciate it. All right. What else do I have in the queue today? God, seriously, I hate blatantly political moves like that and people acting like it means a goddamn thing. Like, you realize that they just reaffirmed what's already happening and has been for a while, right?
Monkey, look, this bill is just as important as the anti-lynching bill.
How many years has it been since interracial marriage has been legal? Goes back to the 70s, right? 60s or 70s?
Yeah, it was before that in most northern states. It was before this. It was like in the 50s or early 60s.
Yeah, but when there was a Supreme Court decision on it.
I think that was.
I want to say late 60s, early 70s, somewhere around there.
Right.
And we had gay marriage goes back to the 2015, 2014. So almost a decade there. All of this shit's been a thing for a while. Anyway, California school board head resigns after inviting minors to booze-infused gay adult party featuring Dirty Santa.
Yes. This is 1967, by the way.
67, thank you. And it was June 2015 when Obergefell went through. California school board head resigns, Jack. Is this guy here pictured with the vice president of the United States? There's later pictures of him with Pocahontas.
Oh, Elizabeth Warren?
Yeah.
That's her white name.
A California school board president has been accused of inviting members of the high school choir to perform at a private adult party in which these students were allegedly offered alcohol and were exposed to comments from a dirty Santa.
Uh-huh.
Steve Lilanusa, whatever, the now former president of Claremont Unified School Districts in Los Angeles County, is the one who held the party, which parents said was inappropriate for students who were performing to raise money for their program.
Well, he expected them to perform all right, Weinstein style.
Thank you, Alan. Hello to you, sir. The party thrown by Lilanusa, who had just won re-election to the school board trustee spot in November, included partygoers offering the underage students alcohol as well as scantily clad adult entertainers. You want to see the scantily clad adult entertainers?
Do I? Oh,
well,
Jesus
luckily it's not going to get us kicked off. But there they are, yeah, guys running around in holiday boxers, so the kids could sing to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the images that who was it, Sarah Gonzalez put up?
Which
from
ones?
The drag Christmas event in Austin, Texas that she went to.
I don't know if I saw those ones or not.
You can't show them on here, but
it said it was Sarah.
Yeah, I got it right here. She retweeted Taylor Hanson's image. I'll drop the link, but we can't show them. We can't show the image because it's pretty fucking disgusting.
Oh, the one with the boobies?
Yes.
Wow. Family friendly.
Yeah, family friendly.
Yeah, we definitely cannot show that picture. It's I'll describe it for you. It's a drag queen, and where their breasts are, there's a box, and the box is open in the front. I'm guessing it's supposed to be a present, and there's what looks like big fake women's titties. Family friendly. I guess that's for the toddler crowd in case they're hungry.
I guess.
Except they can't actually feed off a man.
Yeah, but Hooters is bad. Thank you, Alan, who says, hello, Jack. Hi, Alan. Hope you're doing well, man. And thank you, Cybertez, who says, California school board head, like a good joint, should roll. Yeah. I don't understand how these psychos and pedos keep getting in charge of school boards. I know it's because other people aren't running against them. But seriously, parents, wake up.
Thank you, Keldrick. I saw Billy kissing Santa Claus underneath the mistletoe at school. Yeah. Wade asked if I saw YouTube deleting a dying kids channel. I did not. It sounds about right.
Yeah, it does.
What do you do? Say that trans women aren't women? Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, this guy out there in LA, he wasn't forced to resign. They said, actually, we can't force him to resign, but we hope he does the right thing, which he did. He stepped down. But that's not the right thing. The right thing is getting the police involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they were offering alcohol to minors, that is a crime. Just saying. There's a new show coming out that is for some reason lighting up the internet, Jack. It's called MILF Manor.
I have not seen this porn series.
It's funny you should say that. Should we watch the video? It's kind of stupid. So here's the premise of it, right? It's 12 MILFs. Y'all know what MILF stands for, right? Mom, I'd like to fuck. It's 12 MILFs, and they've decided that look, man, they've given their lives to their children and their bastard ex-husbands, and now what they need is themselves a young man who can pound them like a jackrabbit. But there's a twist. Dun dun dun.
They have dongs.
No, they don't actually
Oh.
tell what the twist is. That's the thing. But what do MILFs have? What do mothers have?
Kids?
Kids. My guess, and I'm not the only one who made this guess, is that the young men in this series are going to be related to the women in the series and be hooking up with the other women. Kind of a daughter swap, but with boys.
Yeah.
As Cybertaz, thank you so much. Is Clarence Thomas for mixing dipping sauces for those nuggies? I don't know, man. Sounds like he likes mixing up the dipping sauce. But yeah, it's they're gonna, from the sound of it, they're gonna be banging each other's kids. Do you remember when TLC stood for the Learning Channel?
Yeah. Now it's the Degeneracy channel.
Now it's the Pornhub Light channel.
Yeah, it's just a giant sideshow freak show. I can't talk. I'm tired.
Look, we're just guessing on what it is, but they do the reveal of the boys, and you don't get to see any of their faces, and you hear all the moms go, "What the fuck?" I don't understand anything else that would make them react that way.
Oh, I do. They're half stuck under the bed, and they're like, "Stepson, will you come help me?"
Right? Yeah. So good job, Learning Channel, on keeping it classy, you dirty fucks. This is literally a porn category. All right. Whatever. Oh, I need to talk about a story real fast. I don't know how you felt about the Ellen DeGeneres show, Jack.
Didn't care for it. I don't
Fair
find
enough.
her that entertaining. She always struck me as kind of smug and annoying.
I liked the show because it was silly, largely just family-friendly entertainment kind of stuff. She seemed to understand that her job there was to entertain the audience by being silly, having fun. And so many talk show hosts in that era were so goddamn serious. And look, I'm not saying Ellen never pushed an agenda, but it was never pushed as hard as some of the others do.
Yeah.
So I didn't hate it. John Migda, thank you. Monk, why are you corrupting my mind? Don't blame me. On your screen right now is a man named Twitch. He was the DJ for the Ellen DeGeneres show. He committed suicide. Nobody's exactly sure why. 40 years old. Leaves a wife and 3 kids at home. Jack, I've seen a lot of people die and it become a Twitter thing.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of them where there were no negative comments. Everything I've seen about this man, everybody was just like, fuck no. He seemed like such a good guy, or people who knew him, he was such a good guy. This is a man who was beloved by millions and still couldn't overcome whatever it was that got to him. So, guys, if you need help, please reach out and get it. I know you hear that from everybody, but if you're having any of those kind of thoughts, please reach out to somebody. Somebody. Go to a doctor. Go to your emergency room. If you're having those kind of thoughts, please don't take this way out. Please. Man left 2 little. He's got 3 young kids, but like 2 of them are like toddlers, Jack.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And they're never going to get to really know their dad because whatever it was that got to him, he wasn't able to get over it. So, yeah. Was it depression or Clinton sadness? Now, I don't know that he has any information on the Clintons. But, you know, we know how the Clintons work.
Yeah. Well, maybe he knew something about Kevin Spacey.
Could be that too. But yeah, man, that one, I saw him like, him? Really? And it is because if you watch the show, he was always so up and alive and happy. And, you know, people got to put on a face when they're going to work sometimes.
Yeah, and Hollywood destroys people.
Yeah, it does.
So between the drugs and the sex and the parties and the general degeneracy of the people there, it will chew you up
Well,
and spit you out.
I'm also going to say this, and I don't have any reason to believe this is what happened here, but when I heard he had a wife and 3 young kids, my first thought went to she's leaving him.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened with Jason David Frank.
But guys, don't take that way out, man. Don't take that way out. God damn. So 40 years old, Jack. He a whippersnapper.
Yeah, there's so much more to go.
Fuck.
Real quick, thank you, S Cybertaz. Says I've written worse. Talk about MILF Manor. Yeah, well, it's you should pitch your ideas to TLC. Maybe they'll give you a pile of money.
Let's see. Did I have it? Oh God, yeah. I guess we got to watch this. Hang on. Jesus, that's loud as fuck. I'm getting a TikTok video ready. All right. Hopefully, I got it down to a not gonna blow your ears out. Oh wait, now I had my volume up too loud. All right,
What?
I need your opinion, Jack, to let me know if this is loud enough.
Welcome to a day in the life. Today,
it's a bit quiet, but it's fine.
Let me raise it a bit. There we go. All right. For pure degeneracy, I don't know if I've seen much worse than this, to be honest with you, on TikTok. So, day in the life, abortion chaperone.
Oh, I was going to give you this video too.
hello, and welcome to a day in the life. Today I'm joining a friend to get the life sucked out of her. Starting my day with a long run because she can't be the only one down a few pounds today.
Yeah, murder's funny.
This is the second time I've joined a friend for one of these, so I'm getting good reps in. For breakfast, I'm having scrambled eggs to celebrate the scrambling of hers. Then we head out to meet Sam. Look at all those numbers. It reminds me of all the ages her child won't see.
You know, I know you're going for edgy, haha, look how funny I am bullshit. But you are a piece of shit.
Yeah, this is what happens when you live in an amoral culture. Everything becomes a joke.
To quote Tom McDonald, you're a real piece of shit. Like if a piece of shit fucked a piece of shit and got an STD, you're that piece of shit. One of my favorite lines he ever spit, by the way.
Teaching your kid how to ride a bike has to be one of the most beautiful moments a parent can have. Not today, though. Getting Sam a small breakfast before her procedure. She's eating for 2, but not for long. And now we're walking down. I feel like I'm in the movie Juno if they decided it should have been a short film. Stopping off at the library because she'll be gone for about 3 hours. Ah, my favorite. What to expect when you're no longer expecting by termination and empty womb. And we've arrived in the waiting room, or as I like to call it, the sleigh lounge. Sending her on her way because duty calls. And just like that, she's done. She looks like she could fly, although that might just be the wings of her angel baby. Now we're getting some ice cream, and there's 3 spoons. One for me, one for Sam, and one for sweet, sweet Archibald.
Do you think that helps? Do you think that helps your abortion argument to be like that about it? I guess, man. Look, if you are that happy about killing babies, I mean, be yourself. Be yourself. But you're a cunt.
Yeah, just because you're following that whore around.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's a scumbag. This is gross. I understand he's trying to be funny, but it just makes you look like a psychopath.
Yeah. It doesn't just make him look like a psychopath. That's psychopathic. And I get it. Abortion's funny. I'm going to piss off people by All right. I mean, you accomplished it, but what does that do to your average middle of the roader who's like, yeah, I really don't want to be associated with somebody like that.
Yeah.
Nobody supports abortion. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
It's a death cult.
Anyhow, this is just a short one. I can throw the article into chat if anybody wants to read it. But so about that 5.7 billion in Tesla stock that Elon Musk gave to charity last year, it went to his own charity, Bloomberg reports. It's technically true, Jack. He donated 5.7 billion to the Elon Musk Foundation.
Okay.
Which then turned around and gave the money away.
Yeah, it's not like the Clinton Foundation.
No, it's not. This was actually them giving the money away. And I'll throw it into chat if anybody wants to read the full fucking story on this. But this is how it was being tossed around Twitter today. Look, he was keeping his money. No, he wasn't. He deducted that money, by the way, Jack. So he can't give it to himself. It's not like the Musk Foundation turns around and gives that money to Elon. You fucking retards. They list in the Bloomberg article a whole bunch of places that got some of the money, Jack. And we're talking millions and millions of dollars each. Not like $10 and calling it a charitable contribution, so the Clinton Foundation could say they actually did give money away.
Yeah.
They were like, no, one time outside of Walmart, I put some money in that red kettle. See, it was a real charity. This was him donating money. And he donated the stock, actually. So, yeah. Oh, they hate Elon so much right now. I don't know why, because they were told to. Just like when they turn and look and like, hey, this is the person you're supposed to be worshiping right now. They turn and look and go, hey, this is the evil you have to hate right now. So, and finally, this I haven't looked real far into it, but apparently Canada wants to regulate content and deputize social media companies to enforce hate speech bans.
Of course they do.
Canada, listen to me, man. Listen. Stop it. I don't know what y'all are doing up there, but stop it. Or tell you what, the normal ones of you can come down here and we'll just trade. We'll send California up there. Nut says they needed someone to replace Trump to hate. I hear you, but the thing is, they really haven't replaced Trump. They've just added DeSantis and now Elon. They have a trifecta of people to hate.
Yeah, see, you've got the Godhead Trump, and then you've got these archangels that they hate as well. It's a hierarchy.
That's what. It's probably systemic.
Oh no!
And somehow probably colonialization too. I'm not sure how, but I'm positive that's part of it. Just throwing that out there. All righty, what'd you bring today, Jack?
Not a whole lot. Just a handful of little things I thought would amuse you.
What
or enrage you, depending on the day.
Well, I guess this explains yesterday.
I know, right? We've cracked the case, guys.
A new neo-Nazi group called Bunnywaffen has been harassing trans people online and showing up armed to counter-protest drag events. Wait, they're counter-protesting drag events, or are they protesting them?
I don't know. I know there's a bunch of furries with guns, and that kind of scares me regardless.
This is part of a growing trend of right-wing extremists using violence and intimidation to silence LGBTQ plus voices. Well, now we know what Elon's tweet really meant.
Yeah, he was like, the Bunnywaffen shall rise up.
The fucking Bunnywaffen. Who is taking this seriously? I mean, besides Right Wing Watch, which, by the way, is full of retards.
Yeah, somebody on 4chan pulled this one on them. If this is even real, what surprises me is this is probably real, and these dumb shits buy into this because that somebody sent them an image like, "Look, man, it's the bunny waffin. They're a real thing, man. Totally real, for sure real. Please post this." And they're like, "We gotta let everybody know."
The bunny waffin, for fuck's sake. I don't even know how to deal with that.
Is it wabbit season? That's a good question.
It is indeed wabbit season.
Schools closed due to furries with AIDS.
The pool's closed. That one didn't last long enough.
Right? At least that one spilled over into the real world in hilarious ways.
True story. Okay, what do we got here? We have, oh wait, I gotta move this over. There we go. The Great Brawl of China, footage of brutal 2021 hand-to-hand clash between Beijing and India's troops emerges as fresh violence breaks out on the border. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but they're going at each other a little bit again.
Yeah, and this sounds like it's from the last time we were really paying. I mean, we've been talking about the violence on the border there between India and China for a while.
Yeah,
but it's been a little while since we actually saw a story about it.
Yeah, so they started fighting again like 2 days ago, just kind of a little bit, and now this footage came out of Indians hitting them with sticks. The footage is hilarious.
Chinese and Indian troops brawled on their disputed border on Friday last week. Clash revealed today as footage of a different fight last year reemerged. Video shows Indian troops whacking their Chinese counterparts with sticks. Is this video it? Show me. Oh, are we on the archive link? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're on the archive. I can find you the footage real quick if you want to watch
it. Yeah, if you want to bring that up so we can see it. Okay, let's check out part of this. Videos revealed a brutal clash between Chinese and Indian troops high in the Himalayas last year after fresh fighting erupted between the two sides last week. See, this is another one of those things, where everybody's watching Taiwan. Everybody's watching Taiwan. Everybody was watching Taiwan when Russia went into Ukraine. They're like, no, Russia's not going to do it. I'm like, yeah, they are. Right now, my money is actually on China fighting more with India than with Taiwan.
I think the India thing's going to flare up first, but they will absolutely go after Taiwan.
Especially, and I don't know, maybe, have we talked about, what is the relationship like between the Chinese and the Pakistanis?
They've been buddying up with Pakistan a little bit, but Pakistan's got a lot of their own problems because some of the people they've been sheltering that were on the run, like the Taliban and factions, they're kind of clashing with each other on the Afghan border.
Yeah, the Pakistanis and the Indians, they've had a long-running feud over Kashmir. It's a place, not sweaters, guys. That goes back to what? Fuck, the 80s?
Oh, at least.
And they've they've hated each other. They are both nuclear states, so mutual assured destruction is kind of, held that in place. But you get the Chinese, stirring up some trouble with the Indians. Hey, Pakistan, we got some money for you. I'm not saying that's happening. I'm just saying there's a chance that kind of shit's going to break and blow up.
Literally.
Do we know if there was any white rabbits over there?
There may have been. It was a very dangerous rabbit. They had to break out a holy hand grenade.
All right. Hang on. Is this the fighting?
Yes.
All right.
Now you can insert your own soundtrack because it's just a bunch of people shouting in foreign.
Oh. Yeah, we're going to turn that down.
If you got yakety sax, you could play it. You didn't share audio anyway, so.
What's that?
You didn't share the audio anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, cool. Because it's just people yelling.
Yeah, that some Indians show up with sticks and start beating the shit out of the Chinese.
Wow.
Oh, they bring stick. Oh, we have
They're just
something for
yelling.
you.
Stop hitting me with a stick.
Yeah.
Stop it. Okay, maybe we do need the soundtrack for this. Hang on. I don't know what that guy was just yelling, but it was he was excited about it.
Oh yeah.
Hang on,
Just play K-pop over this. That's a good idea.
Yeah, what he said. He's probably saying some stuff that'll get us kicked off. He's dropping N-bombs in Indianese.
Yeah. I believe it's referred to as Hindi.
Whatever. I was close enough. People knew what I meant.
Now, doesn't this look like, a bunch of basement man guys going after some shitty Antifa clowns?
It really does. Those are some long sticks, too.
Well, they got to get over that barbed wire fence. And the Chinese were ordered to hold that spot. And this guy's just beating the fuck out of him.
It's all fun and games till they come back with flamethrowers. Don't show up to a stick fight with no stick.
Right? Good job, China. They're like, we made that stick for you. And we're like, we're tech support. Shut up.
Ran him off. Made him go stand over there instead. I like how all they did is walk a few feet away.
Yeah.
You guys should have done that in the first place. Just step back. You'd be fine.
It's like some elementary school kids playing like some game and they each fall back to their respective sides, but they respect the sides. It's the field of battle that matters.
Yep. All fun and games till they come back with real weapons. That's got to be a very moralizing victory, demoralizing defeat for the other side.
Yeah.
You just won with sticks.
Yeah. That's some really old school kind of victory, too. Like, you got in there with your hands, took a primitive stick, and you looked like a goat herder doing it, but you still won.
Rebel says, going back to the start, I hope you enjoy it all.
Yeah,
catch up as soon as you can.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. The Pakistani government is still very pro-China. The people, though, have been getting more and more angry at China for basically coming in and taking over towns. They've had tons of protests and some riots over it. That doesn't surprise me. They'll just shoot all those people.
Thank you, Rodline. It happened because the Chinese forgot to leave out the MSG. MSG is good. I don't care what anybody says.
That's flavoring.
Frosty Glass, thank you. Speak incoherently and carry a big stick. Yes. Look, I don't know who that guy was yelling. He was yelling Braveheart, but in Indianese.
Yeah.
What'd you say? Hindu? Is that what they speak?
Yeah.
In Indianese, he was yelling, freedom. I'm not going to pretend to do how he said it because that'll be racist, I hear.
Well, we know how the Chinese say freedom. Labor camp.
Right? Like, don't even think it. That's how they say it. Okay. What? Labor unions. Oh, good God. This sounds like a wonderful idea.
What?
Airlines lobby Congress to allow just one pilot in the cockpit. I love that they used Airplane's picture.
Yes, I do too.
If you guys have never seen that movie, you're missing out. Airlines, in their infinite mission to balance cost, profits, and keep planes full of passengers alive between 2 points, might be going a little too far in their latest attempt to cut back. According to CBS News, the industry has been quietly lobbying Congress to allow them to use just one pilot in the cockpit instead of two, as is currently required by Part 121 of the Federal Aviation Regulations.
Look, how could this backfire, Monkey? At all? I mean, what? Pilot has a heart attack and dies? You're on your own. It's fine. Everything's good.
No. See, Jack, if I've learned anything in all of my years on this planet, it's that if something happens to the pilot, there is always somebody on that plane who can fly it.
That's true.
Yeah. So there's no real danger here, if I'm being honest.
What if the pilot is, suicidal, like that plane that disappeared over the Indian Ocean that we talked about the other day?
I just don't believe that ever happens because pilots are the greatest people.
That's true. They couldn't possibly have any nefarious agenda or decide to just end it all right there.
Frosted says, what if the pilot has fish for dinner? Again, there's always somebody who can fly the plane. Stryker stepped up. That's all I'm saying.
So, there's some little old lady that's like, I had the chicken. I'm fine.
That's right. The airlines claim it would quickly solve staffing issues caused by the ongoing pilot shortage and say that technology has improved to the point where it would be perfectly safe to do so. If that's true, then you wouldn't need a pilot at all.
I'm sure Elon's working on that.
Because again, in all seriousness, if a pilot has a heart attack on the plane, yeah, your autopilot could fly it till it ran out of gas, but it's not going to land it.
No, that attitude, quitter.
I mean, it'll land it, just probably not in the best manner possible.
Oh, yeah, well, any crash you walk away from is a good one, right? Launchpad McQuack said that. He's the best pilot ever.
I mean, technically it's landed when it's upside down and in 100 billion pieces across some farmer's field.
Yeah, so it's fine, right?
There's language in a new bill now introduced in Congress, the Federal Aviation Administration Reauthorization Bill, asking the Federal Aviation Administration to reconsider Part 121 and allow the use of a single pilot operation. First in cargo aircraft. Not surprisingly, airline pilots are loudly protesting this idea, claiming it would diminish a safety discipline and culture that has been responsible for the safest 25 years in commercial aviation in the history of aviation. Well, okay, in all fairness to the other side here, part of that is because of advances in technology. It's not just that having two pilots in there suddenly made it safer than ever, because they've had two pilots in many planes that have gone down.
Yeah, but I would prefer there was a backup guy that knew what was going on.
Oh, I'm with you.
Yeah, I think this is a terrible idea, but I understand they're trying to save a lot of money, but the airlines are already boning us all. I don't want to watch a bunch of planes crash because they're getting cheap and reckless.
Well, as Assassin just said, redundancy is crucial. It is, yeah, I agree. But the pilot's trying to be like, look, we've made it so safe. It's not just you, so calm down. Honestly, it's the takeoff and landing is the part that they really need the pilots there for.
Yeah.
Pilots union argue it's all about the airline saving money and could compromise safety. I agree with that part.
Yeah.
Unions have pointed to several examples of emergency situations in which two pilots were necessary, such as the miracle on the Hudson when pilot Chelsea Sullenberg and Jeffrey Skiles, worked together to glide a U.S. Airways flight down to New York's Hudson River after it hit a flock of Canadian geese on takeoff, saving all 150 passengers and crew. Meanwhile, 10 days ago, an American Eagle flight from Chicago to Columbus had an emergency when one of the two pilots became incapacitated. Somebody was drinking on the job.
He had to poop.
What probably happened? He was banging the stewardess in the bathroom and they got stuck.
Yeah, his wiener got stuck.
Yep. He knotted up in there. That's fucked up. Monkey. Humans don't knot, y'all. Anyway.
So he's hung like a horse is what you're saying.
The co-pilot was able to gain control of the plane, declare an emergency, and safely land back at O'Hare. The pilot later died at the hospital.
Jesus.
Well, now I feel bad.
Why? You blame the co-pilot.
I was saying the pilot was getting banged in the bathroom.
Yeah, he's banging the co-pilot. He's trying to fly the plane.
Oh. Look, it seems like an excessively bad idea to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know enough about modern airplanes to say whether or not it is, I guess. But I'm okay with a. Are you guys really losing all of your money because of one pilot per flight?
No, it's because their flight attendants are assholes, and everybody's wedged in there so tight.
I don't think it's the one extra pilot per flight. And yeah, I realize that adds up, but I feel like I don't know how much the pilot's making, but if everybody just paid like $4 more per ticket, you could probably cover the cost of that extra pilot, right?
You would think so.
Or maybe even $5. You just a $5 second pilot so you don't crash into the Hudson. I would pay that extra $5.
Yeah, well, they're gonna nickel and dime you anyway.
Faithless says it's due to a shortage of pilots. So yeah, I saw that part too, where they say shortage of pilots. But I feel like if we treated pilots like we used to, there'd be more of them. We used to let them be, whores, basically. Let the pilots be whores, and we'll have more of them. Rich whores, we'll have a lot more of them.
Mm.
I feel like we've destroyed a lot of industries by not letting the guys be rich whores.
Well, they used to have families in different ports.
Yeah, that's just what you did. How big of a shortage do we actually have of pilots?
I don't know. Remember, they did institute the vaccination policies for them too, so they probably shot themselves in the foot on that one.
As Cybertaz, thank you so much. One pilot, myocarditis, the jab? No way in hell. I don't know what happened to the guy. They weren't very specific in that story there. My guess, he had a heart attack banging a stewardess. Probably an ugly stewardess too. Remember when stewardess used to have to be cute?
Yeah, and then they dropped the standards.
They dropped the standards, and now the stewardesses can't fit down the aisle.
Oh man, I've seen some real tubbos. There was an article about one that got fired because she couldn't fit in the jump seat and she was suing.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Like, honey, it's a safety issue. You shouldn't need two seats as the attendant. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh.
Oh my. This is denying somebody's lived experience.
Indeed.
Radical LGBT activist tells Congress that detransitioning is not a real thing and admits helping children as young as 12 change genders without telling their parents.
Sounds like a real wholesome person that you want your kids around.
It really does. Sounds like the kind that you'd want to take your choir to their annual Christmas party.
Yeah, where they will be promptly hit on and probably diddled.
Jesse Pocock.
Let it go. Just let it go.
I don't know if I can.
I know.
Jesse Pocock.
Pocock. She's not a rich cock. She's a pocock.
Got that Pocock. Look, man, I have a upper middle class cock. Jesse Pocock. Look, we need to have a fundraiser for the Pococks out there. They can't help it. They can't even afford a coat, Jack. They can't afford a raincoat.
Don't let your pocock not have a hoodie.
Jesse Pocock testified before Congress on Wednesday that is this a trans person?
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it is.
And I'm not asking because anything wrong with trans people, but are you a trans woman that chose the name Pocock? Because I'm gonna hate you a little bit for that.
To be fair, that would be funny.
Jesse Pocock testified before Congress on Wednesday that she believes children as young as 12 could start transitioning their sex. You're an LGBT activist. You're not a. Never mind. Pocock. God damn it. Pocock's organization, Inside Out. No.
Please stop making your organization sound like sex. You'll be taken a lot more seriously if you stop.
Inside Out Youth Service Advocacy Organization
Inside and out.
helps 13-year-olds transition without consent from their parents, she said.
Through repetition and thrusting.
She then went on to deny that children who transition their sex at a young age regret the choice later in life and try to reverse what they've done. Her testimony comes amid ongoing hearings over the rise in violence against LGBTQ Americans following a shooting at a gay club last month. Yeah, it's amazing how
by the non-binary person.
It's amazing how the Democrats got these hearings together so quickly, and they just can't seem to find time to go look into Hunter Biden's laptop.
Look, Monkey, there's more important things to do, like taking bribes from the FTX and, doing stuff. It's a busy week. Shuffleboard Thursdays.
Radical LGBT activist told Congress on Wednesday she doesn't believe detransitioning is a real thing, as she admitted to helping children as young as 12 change their sex without talking to parents.
Why would you want to do that? Those bigots, they'll say no.
Where the hell are you finding 12-year-olds to hang out with, freak?
Well, she signed up for this TLC show.
She was on this Inside Out thing. God bless. That's not. Never mind. Speaking before the House Oversight and Reform Committee, Jessie Pocock said she believes children as young as 12 could start to go through hormonal treatments and surgeries to change their sex, even if their parents don't agree. They're 12. They're stupid. They don't know what they want. They don't know shit about life. What is wrong with you?
Well, it's kind of hard to bitch about all the violence against trans people when you're going after people's kids.
Yeah.
Like, you'd think there might be a cause and effect here. I'm telling you, this is going to destroy all the goodwill that transgender and gay people have built up over the last 30 years. It's just going to annihilate it.
Oh, yeah, that is definitely a dude.
Real quick. Thank you, Frank. Pocock or faux cock? Why not both?
In our community, the age of consent to mental health therapy is 12 years old, Pocock, the CEO and executive director of Inside Out Youth. For real? That's what you named it?
Mm-hmm.
Said in response to a question from Representative Michael Cloud. She then went on to deny that children who transition their sex at a young age regret the choice later in life and try to reverse what they've done. Chloe Cole doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's an outlier or something.
No, they're actually trying to prove, I'm sure you've seen it, but there's people who are trying to prove that she never actually did any transitioning.
I think her lack of boobs would say otherwise.
No, you see, she's wearing a binder.
That's a bandage.
Well, I know that, and you know that, and she knows that, but her detractors are like, she's just wearing a binder to keep her boobies down so you can't see them.
Well, look, next time I see her, I'll ask her if I could check. She's 18. Calm down.
Look at that picture.
Yeah, it's not flattering. The camera she's using is not flattering at all. Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potatoes. This person admitted to Congress that they help children access drugs without their parents' knowledge. That kind of sounds illegal. How hasn't this person been arrested the second they walked out? Because they're the right kind of drug dealer.
Yep.
And thank you, Circus Zero. The law office of Pocock and McButt. We work hard so you don't get fucked by the legal system.
I'd forgotten about my butt. My butt. Pocock said during the hearings on Wednesday that her organization in Colorado Springs, where the deadly massacre occurred, seeks to ensure that trans children feel safe and protected. You know, by having secrets from your parents with them about your sexuality.
Yeah, and here, take these life-altering medications, and help you get some surgeries. Jesus, this is fucking sick, man. I'm telling you, there's gonna eventually be a pushback on this shit, whether it's by us or our future overlords.
Among its values, which inform the acronym Inside Out, are intersectionality, openness, and engagement. I bet engagement is a part of it.
Yeah, well, especially once you open them up.
Though it also lists more obscure values like dancing, nourishment, and even unicorns.
Yeah, they're even using symbols that kids love, like unicorns. How does this not make you look like a pedophile?
We are constantly filling reports of abuse and neglect, she claimed before Cloud, a Republican from Texas, cut her off. He said that schools and churches are legally obligated to report cases of abuse before asking Pocock whether she thought parents have a right to know about their children's plans to transition. Do they have a right? Do parents have a right? Should they be informed of what's going on? He asked before reiterating, do they have a right to know what's going on with their kids' lives? Pocock responded, she thinks those of us who are protecting and supporting young people are there and trusted with the things we are dealing with. That is meaningless drivel. That statement means nothing. In terms of parents' rights to know at school, I mean, here in Colorado, parents don't have a right, she revealed, saying if a young person is questioning their gender or their sexuality, there are laws in place that say they have a right to process that with the help of a trusted counselor and so forth. Yeah.
Trusted counselor. You can trust me. I'm your new best friend. Here, take these pills. Jesus Christ. Real fast. Thank you, Hyman Lineman, for the very generous donation. I remember watching the movie Flight in Drug and Alcohol Counseling, and it inspired me to keep drinking. Whitaker crash landed an aircraft after inverting it and kept most people alive. He did it drunk and high on coke. Not a very good deterrent. That's a good point. You'd think they would have picked something a little better than that one.
Over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much, Hyman. Wow, that is very, very generous with a winking emoji. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you, thank you. Starring Denzel, indeed. I watched that movie and I was expecting something completely different because I didn't read anything about it. I just knew that it was about a pilot who saves people. And then I saw the movie. I was like, fuck.
I have not seen that one.
It's a pretty good movie. I know you're not a big Denzel guy, but it's a pretty good movie. And like I said, it's not the heroic film that you might think it is.
Yeah, they made it look like it was like the Miracle on the Hudson thing, but Hyman just made it sound 1,000 times more interesting.
No, yeah, he was. Well, I don't want to ruin any part of it if you're gonna take a look at it, but yeah, not what I was expecting. I'll just throw it out that way.
Huh. Thank you, Keldrake, who says, "Fuck that noise. Parents absolutely do have the right." Well, they should, but unfortunately, parents' rights are getting stripped little by little and given to these fucking psychos.
Yeah, you're wrong. Unfortunately, they should have the right, but they don't.
Yeah.
And let's go a little bit further to explain that. At that point, Cloud asked her about her work with 13-year-olds and asked her about the age of consent, which is when she made the claim that 12-year-olds could start transitioning their sex. Quote, so we have laws that enable young people to connect with trusted adults who can support them. That's so important. It prevents suicide. And there it is, guys. There's that nonsense. Hey, if you don't let these kids do this, they're going to off themselves.
Yeah, it's fear-mongering.
That emotional blackmail.
Yeah.
And look, we've talked about the trans suicide rate, and it's fucking horrible. But you can't lump in all of these people who are just trying to be special with those same people. It's not the same. In fact, you're probably making it worse by putting the idea into their head that, hey, suicide's an option. Did you know that? Did you know for people who think like you, suicide's big part of it? Did you catch that? Because most of these kids are not actually transitioning. They're just not happy with what's going on with their body. And we know this because that's been going on since humans have existed.
Yeah.
The problem right now is you're out there telling mostly little girls that what's going on with their body doesn't have to. You can be a man. You can be one of those men who don't have to deal with any problems ever, ever, ever. And it is sad how much the trans male thing has blown up. It really is. And they're like, no, that it's not. No, it's always been this way. No, it hasn't. It has not always been this way. That's fucking retarded. Circuit Zero, thank you. It's kind of like the pitcher who pitched a non-hitter game while high out of his mind on LSD or acid. Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, that kind of sounds familiar. I don't know if I ever heard who it was. Anyhow, fired Loudoun County superintendent, sticking with these shitbags who treat children horribly.
It's kind of a theme today.
Fired Loudoun County superintendent is accused of retaliating against a teacher. Special grand jury hit Ziegler with 3 indictments, including 2 that involve the now former Loudoun County superintendent allegedly threatened a Loudoun County public school teacher. This was mentioned in the story the other day, but we didn't know anything about what that retaliation was.
Yeah, I managed to find an article on it. So this is from today.
Yeah, the one we read, it mentioned the other things going on, and then it mentioned that retaliation, and then just dropped it. Yeah, and we were like, wait, I've never heard of this, so I'm glad you found one.
Yeah, I thought a follow-up would be good.
On Tuesday, 7 News spoke with the teacher's attorney in Leesburg. Aaron is a teacher who, up until recently, was working in special education in Loudoun County Public Schools, said John Whitbeck, the managing partner of Whitbeck Bennett Law Firm. 7 News has learned that Aaron Brooks reached out to LCPS administration several times, asking for help after a student allegedly grabbed the teacher's breasts, buttocks, and pubic area. Whole different spot of this woman.
Yeah, a little bit different.
It's only a public area during a gay pride parade.
Yes.
Damn it. Breast, buttocks, and pubic area dozens of times each day. This kid should have been kicked out of the school, period.
Well, they would have just transferred him to another school.
This happened. Look, I understand special needs kids. You need to try to give them an education as you can. Sending them to school with normal kids because, we got to treat them like everybody else, doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help that kid. It doesn't help the other students. And oftentimes, the teachers end up getting, and not just teachers, some of the other students end up getting assaulted. Hashtag not all. But when Brooks asked LCPS administrators for help, a lawsuit says Brooks was dismissed and ignored by LCPS, Loudoun County Public Schools, personnel who were in a position that could have stopped the assaults. The administrators told her to get an apron. What?
Oh yeah, it gets it's priceless what they said.
Get an apron on to try and stop the assaults from occurring. And the second thing was use a cardboard cutout of a hand to stop that student touching from occurring. I don't have to comment on how absurd that is when a teacher is told to do that. No, you really don't. You really don't.
Yeah. She was also told to wear some cardboard to slow the progress. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know what she should have done? She should have got the chastity belt from Men in Tights.
Yeah.
The lawsuit says the school principal suggested Brooks order an apron to slow the penetration.
Yeah. Slow the progress.
Slow the penetration.
Mm-hmm. You thought I was exaggerating, didn't you?
To slow the penetration when the student reached for her breast and genital area, and later that day, the school principal sent Brooks emails with links to different aprons, asking her to select the one she preferred. How
You
about
whiny bitch.
take the dirty bastard out of school?
Yeah. Be like, look, that's not acceptable, Timmy.
Brooks also notified the Title IX compliance officer at the time to report a sexual assault and harassment inflicted on her by students, the lawsuit explains. Wow. This chick is wow.
Yeah.
Brooks allegedly notified school administrators she was a victim of sexual assault before, and the actions of the students were re-traumatizing her. Okay, you don't need that part. I'm sorry. Whether you were a victim of sexual assault before or not is irrelevant to what happened here. It wouldn't be okay if you hadn't have been raped before, okay? Anyway, where are we? And the actions of the student were re-traumatizing her and causing her extreme emotional distress. They not only did nothing, but they defamed her in public record, said Whitbeck. Under subpoena, Brooks testified to the special grand jury. Brooks's teaching contract wasn't renewed by LCPS. She went from being a very celebrated member of the faculty and given high marks to suddenly, after questioning the school's failure to act, suddenly she was given negative reviews. I mean, if they have that email of the principal asking her to pick out an apron, this is a pretty open and shut case.
I would think so. Like, that seems pretty straightforward there.
Grand jury report shows how other Loudoun County teachers are experiencing a culture of fear and being dismissed by school administrators. Wow. All right. I mean, that brings us up to speed on what's happening. This kid was sexually assaulting this teacher in school, and the school was like, what? Get an apron, bitch.
Get an apron to slow the penetration. Who says that?
You know what? This brings up a good thing though, Jack. I just realized instead of sex ed in school, we just need apron ed in school.
Oh, yeah. Well, home economics would have prevented this whole thing.
Yeah, it'll stop teen pregnancies. Just have all the girls wear aprons from now on.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe learn to bake while they're at it.
You learn to bake. It gives the little rapist there something else to do with his hands.
Yeah, yeah. Muffins are a good distraction because
It's
a man who is full is it's harder to rape with.
Yeah, you got a muffin in each hand and one in your mouth. You can't rape.
It's true.
Keldrick, thank you. Good to know schools are taking care of their teachers just as well as they're taking care of their students, right?
Yeah.
But in fairness to the school, not that there's a good way to have fairness to the school here. When it comes to special needs kids, man, they put up with a lot of shit because they have to.
Yeah.
They're just, how about a stun gun? You would think. But no, like you have to put up with that shit because they have a right to an education. He's trying to bite his face. He can't do math ever. Why are you doing this?
He drools a lot.
Yeah. It's just to make the kids with special needs or the parents of special needs kids to feel better about themselves. No, he's not retarded. He's in school. Yeah, he's getting ready to graduate high school and he still can't do his ABCs.
Well,
But he's raped his teacher several times.
Yeah, she wears an apron and everything, but it doesn't seem to be working.
Jesus Christ. You know, if there's kids who can go to the schools, cool. But there are some who are violent. There's some who don't understand behavioral bounds. And I'm sorry, they don't belong in schools. They just don't.
Yeah.
You can hate on that if you want to. You can be as mad as you want about that, but that's just how it is. told the story before, Jack. There was a kid in my school. It took like 6 to 8 grown-ass men to drag him out of a school where he was beating the shit out of a teacher.
Yeah.
The security guards, all of them had to get involved. Why they let that kid train with weights? Because they did. He was jacked, man. And you could tell because he'd often take off his shirt in the middle of lunch.
Weird.
Yeah, believe it or not, he had anger issues.
What?
Yeah. Freaked out one time, and it took a whole shit ton of grown-ass security guards to drag this guy off of her and out of the classroom. Anyhow. Right off the bat, I see 2 warning signs.
Yes.
Maybe 3. We got the nose ring. We got the weird glasses. We got the hair. I can't tell whether or not she's actually washed this month.
It's a roll of the dice, isn't it?
Yeah, often is.
You gonna share audio with the class?
I did. I swear to God.
Did you?
I did. I'm going to have to reach out to them again because that has been happening lately. All right.
So I run the Pride Club at my school, and I'm having kind of an issue with another teacher in the school building right now.
Are they being raped by one of their students and won't wear an apron?
Maybe.
School building right now. I have a couple kids who have come to me and told me that she has called them out in the middle of class for being gay. She said some
Bullshit. That didn't happen.
No, but you know how this works. Like, that teacher, she said, "Oh my gosh, he's gay, right?" And really, the teacher was like, "I don't care that he's gay." Oh my God, you're such a homophobe.
Gauged ear? I didn't even notice she had the gauged ear. All right.
out in the middle of class
Yeah,
for being gay. She said some pretty terrible things about me and the club, telling kids that she thinks it's stupid and a waste of time, and we're pulling kids out of her class, which technically, yes,
You're pulling kids out of class for the gay club?
Yes.
You shouldn't be doing.
No, monkey. Don't be a bigot.
we are pulling kids out of the class, but it's only for 30 minutes a week, and it's on Mondays.
You mean during their instruction time?
Yes. Wonder why this teacher's so upset about this whole thing, the old bigot.
So the last 30 minutes of first period, the kids come to me. I understand that, the kids are coming to my class during another class period. I have okayed this with my administration, with my principal, my admin, all that, because the kids told me straight up, they were like, we don't want to have it after school just in case, because some of their parents don't know.
So
they don't get to go to your dumb little gay club then.
Yeah.
Also, your administration's going to tell you no. Oh, you said no to a pride group?
Right?
How fast do you think they're going to have a field load of protesters out there?
And like Scum said, have it during lunch then.
Yeah, or study halls. I'm sure there's have it during one of the lunch. Lunch period would be the best one, but I'm sure there's some sort of time they could do this.
She is not missing lunch.
She'll look like she's ever missed lunch.
Yeah, so lunch is not an option, so we got to take that one off the table. All right.
It would make them feel more comfortable to just, do it at school. That way it's a little more, discreet. So
you have these kids involved in a club that their parents don't know about?
Yep.
I feel like that's wrong on several levels.
Yep.
We need to do this during her class time. Look, I know they're supposed to be learning math, but I'm trying to groom them. And this is specifically an LGB, so it's got the sexuality part of it in the club.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing that on school time without the permission of the parents.
Yeah, who needs those bigots involved?
And you get surprised when you're called a groomer.
It is completely okay with my admin that I am running this club during school hours. And again, it's only 30 minutes a week. However, this teacher is now crossing a line. She is calling out my kids. She is saying extremely homophobic things. She's bashing the community and the club.
I'm gonna need some quotes here.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how there's no quotes, but you have an administration that is allowing you to have this, and you didn't go to them with this issue?
Why? Going to TikTok's a lot easier, monkey. Especially when you have nebulous claims that are unverifiable.
When you have bullshit and you look like this?
Yeah.
Club itself. And I'm kind of...
Can I just say fuck her and her gay little club?
Yes.
That's not a slur because it is a gay little club. G is part of what she said.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's not many kids in it, so it's pretty gay.
Oh, that is a screenshot if ever there was one.
Looks like
pause face for the win.
Fed up with it. She literally came to my class and went through every name in her roster to try and get me to out the kids to her, so she knew who was not straight.
She didn't.
Okay. If kids are going to be excused from my class, I need to know which kids they are so I can write them permission slips, because they can't be out in the hall without a hall pass. So I need to know who's leaving my class.
So that way, she'd have that information, which I did not give her. I would not give her that. I don't really care if she doesn't like me. Whatever. Not my business. I don't particularly care if she doesn't like when the club happens, because that's not her business either, since
She's a teacher and they're leaving her class for it. It absolutely matters.
And it's absolutely her business to know who's leaving her class so she can keep them up to speed and keep her class running smoothly. You are affecting and impacting everybody in that classroom by going and getting those kids. Those kids need a hall pass, so every Monday or whatever they're out of class, they have to make up their assignments or tests. You have to work around their schedules then. It's a giant pain in the dick.
This brings up another question. What exactly does a gay, lesbian, trans club meet to do?
Groom each other? I don't know.
It's not like the chess club where you go to play chess and maybe learn a little bit, or a debate club where you actually go and debate. Do you go there and be gay?
Yeah, maybe they orgy. I don't know. Faithful said it. Yeah, fuck, orgy. It's basically an orgy. Maybe they maybe that's how rainbows are made.
Dance to the Village People. YMCA.
my admin.
Good.
Thank you, Keldrick. 30 minutes a week is a lot, actually. If it all comes out of one class, depending on how long the class period is, that can be most of the entire day of class. Yeah, most classes are 45 minutes to an hour. So, yeah, they're missing an entire day of class. Thank you, Keldrick.
Yeah, and she's making it's only 30 minutes at the end of class. Yeah, in a 45, even in an hour-long class, Jack, that's half the fucking day.
Yeah.
But what we're not going to do, we are not going to talk bad about my kids. They have a hard enough time as it is. They do not need this teacher messing with them, being homophobic.
You do realize that by having this club and having them all come there, you've outed all of them, right?
Yeah, because everybody's going to figure it out. Plus,
it's like, excuse me, I need all kids in the gay club to please meet in Mrs. Fat Ass's room right now.
Now,
people are going to... Pay
Sorry.
attention to who's getting up and leaving.
Yeah. Well, most likely what they're doing is on the slide. The kids have they have to get a pass, and they just are excused from the class.
Yeah, but it's gonna be figured out. They're gonna be like, oh, that's when the gay club meets.
Yeah. What's interesting is the school is kind of biased because they're not allowing a straight club. So these kids are getting special treatment. They're getting out of class, which every kid wants to get out of fucking class. So why is there this feeling of specialness here? Why are these kids getting treated
Jack,
differently?
they have it so hard already, she told us.
Oh yeah, it's so hard getting out of class for every Monday.
So she's going to out them all to the whole school. Snubber, thank you. I mean, even Christian groups put athlete in the group name because they know just Christian group looks weird. Yeah, they call them like Fellowship of Christian Athletes or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, even then, I would understand what they were going for. They're going to go, if it was just a Christian club, they're going to go read the Bible. What's the gay club do?
They get out of class. I could see a bunch of straight kids join this just so they could skip math class. I would have done it. I'd have gotten out of class. Be like, yeah, okay, we could talk about rainbows and unicorns and shit for an hour. I don't have to do math.
The only thing I can figure that a gay club does, I'm not that way, so. I mean, I could be a trans lesbian if they needed me to be, depending on what the lesbians in the class look like. Throwing that out there. All right, Chunky, bring it home.
Doesn't like when the club happens because that's not her business either, since I okayed it with my admin. But what we're not going to do, we are not going to talk bad about my kids. They have a hard enough time as it is. They do not need this teacher messing with them, being homophobic, transphobic, saying things that she shouldn't. So now I'm pissed off. And she will now have to deal with me because I will be taking her to admin.
Oh no, Scary, you're going to go tattle the teacher.
Yeah, good luck with that. I mean, so far you've literally giving us nothing. And frankly, hang on, let's see if she has anything else.
So I'm not happy about this. You are not going to drag my kids like this. Not happening. So
they're not your kids, first of all.
Yeah.
Everything she said there, because when she first starts out, they're saying gayness, pointing out that they're gay in class. Well, if the teacher's like, hey, are you going to the LGBT club? Technically, that would be outing him in class, Jack, but it's also something the teacher needs to know.
Yeah.
You can't just have your kids get up 15 minutes to half an hour into your class and leave, and you'd be like, okay, fuck it, have fun.
Yeah. Have fun doing whatever I'm not allowed to know about.
And as far as, saying bad things about the club, her going like, I hate that this happens on a Monday when we're just getting into instruction for the week, that technically would be speaking against the club.
Yeah.
But it's not wrong. Chaos One, thank you. Stupid I heard today. How do you know the Hunter Biden thing is just a fangless attempt to destroy Joe? Because Republicans can't even name a single crime they think he did. Yes, you read that right. I had this discussion with several people on the internet recently because they've been trying to pull that. The meanest one I did, Jack, was there was this old lady who said that the only thing that was on the Hunter laptop was naked pictures. And I asked her if she was rubbing one out to Hunter naked. That was a little over the line, but I was so tired of hearing this stupid shit. There's plenty on there. If you want a specific crime, treason, selling influence. There's tons of shit on there. But because they've heard from the news is it's only naked pictures, they think that's all that's on there. So, yeah, there's a whole group of people who only believe that the only thing wrong on there was Hunter naked.
Let's ignore the pictures that they have the kid in the background.
Well, yeah. Or the crack. I mean, I don't know what the statute of limitations is on crack and whores, but there's all kinds of that stuff on there.
Yeah.
There's also the whole issue with whether or not they were selling influence. Who were the two countries involved in that again? Shit.
Oh, I know this. Russia No, it was
No.
Bangladesh.
No, that's closer, I think.
Ukraine.
Oh yeah, that was one. That was one.
Yeah, and the place where they lock up people for the religious beliefs, China.
Yeah, the anti-Uyghurs. That's who it is.
Yeah.
China and Ukraine, the two places that Joe Biden has been bending over backwards to help out.
Yeah, it's
And
weird how that happens.
When it comes to Ukraine, literally spending billions of dollars. When it comes to China, removing tariffs that move billions of dollars over there. So
now, to be fair, Monkey, a lot of the money he gave to Ukraine, they did invest in FTX, and FTX's CEO was a massive investor for the Democrats.
now that's all coincidental.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to see here.
For the record, my light has started flashing. I don't know if there's I know we have a snowstorm coming, but I wouldn't expect lights flashing. But if I disappear suddenly, there you go.
That's Phoebe doing like a Morse code to try and get you to give her snacks.
Oh, she was so cute tonight. Let me get this real fast. Cast one, thank you. Follow up. If there's anything media would have said something, chances are media investigated, found nothing, and repubs are just sad. I don't know what kind of idiots you talk to, Cast one, but yeah, I run into them all the time. Yeah.
Soon we'll have to join Mastodon to talk to those tards.
Lady Monkey was feeling a little tense tonight, so I gave her a full body massage in bed. And Phoebe has been very dad focused today. She's wanted my attention. So I was picking her up and petting her. And when I got into bed to give Lady Monkey her rub down, Phoebe came over and she wanted pet while I was petting Lady Monkey. I'm like, okay. And then I had to move her so I could get in position to do a really good job on Lady Monkey's back. And she just lays down. So she's touching both of us and fell asleep. She never goes to sleep when we're both in bed like that. It was the weirdest thing, but it was so cute. And she did the little thing where she eventually rolled over and she tucked her head in. I'm like, oh, yeah, very dad focused today.
Oh,
she keeps running in here. Earlier today, she ran in here. I've been letting her come in more and more because she's not chewing cords and she gets lonely during the day because everybody's, in their offices. And so I let her come in and, she's still kind of skittish, thinking she's going to get thrown out all the time. But she's over behind me and she comes over to the desk. And I'm like, come here. And I go to grab her. And she did the thing where she tries to pull her neck down so you can't touch her, even though I was grabbing under her arms. Like that doesn't work. But I picked her up and put her in my lap. And then I smelled it. She did her skunk where it's like, I'm scared. The cat farted on me when I was trying to pet her. Does Phoebe snore at night? She doesn't really snore. She does drool if you pet her and she's really enjoying it. I have a drooling cat.
Yeah, a lot of cats do that.
We've only ever had one other that did it. My daughter's cat, Tigger. He would just start drooling like crazy. You'd have to get like a napkin to put under his face when you were petting him. Because he liked it. He was into his pets. All right, guys, we are going to wrap up here. I'm going to be over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey playing some more Phasmophobia with Bubba Hobo. Me and Bubba Hobo are going to be going on that. And Dark will come hang out with us for a little bit, at least to check out and see if we can get the audio issues all fixed. I really hope it's fixed because I prefer playing with a full group. I like having extra people come in and play. Partially because it's, that's other people can die instead of me. Is that too self-serving? No, I meant because I like playing with my viewers. That's what it is.
I think it's because damage. It's best to share the damage.
Dude, I gotta talk about this story real quick. It's completely off topic. It's completely drama related. So there's this guy who does a Twitch stream. I can't remember his name. I don't really care. He's on his stream one Friday night, and this chick who hasn't been in his audience for a while pops up and he goes, "Oh, hey there, how you been? Where have you been?" And she said, "Oh, I'm sorry." She actually said, "Laugh my ass off," and then she said, "My mother died."
Oh, Jesus.
Well, she didn't mean to say laugh my ass off. She was saying that to something else and she forgot to hit enter.
Oh.
So she wrote a post explaining that part of it. But she says, yeah, my mom died. And this dude starts freaking out on her.
Why?
Like, we do not talk about, you are not going to bring down my stream. It's a Friday. We're having fun here. It's well known that you don't do that shit.
Go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah, starts fucking screaming at her. So then it blows up a little bit where people are like, hey, dude, you're kind of a dick.
Yeah.
So he makes an apology on Twitter where he's like, yeah, that was fucked up. I'm sorry. Which is where he should have stopped. But no. He makes an apology video where he basically repeats all of the same shit about how it was her fault and she should know better about the etiquette in his streams, and how dare you come on there and try to bring it down with your personal shit.
So he doubled down in a pseudo apology video.
Yes. I was like, dude.
Much like our chat is pointing out right now, he asked.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that guy. I would unsubscribe to him if he's that big of a douchebag.
Look, the way you handle that, especially if you want to just keep it like, yo, I'm so sorry to hear that happened to you. Maybe we can make it better. Hopefully we can entertain you and take your mind off of it. There you go.
This woman's going through some serious trauma and like actual emotional damage, and he's sitting there like, how dare you try to bring us down and shitting on her. Fuck that guy.
Right? What a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, I saw the video on him. I forget who did the video. It might have been Moist Critical, but I went and looked it all up myself and went over to her Twitter, and a whole bunch of people, of course, being nice to her, like, man, that was fucked up. Everybody's telling him to stop being a jackass. There's no reason to double down. If you do something stupid, either shut your fucking mouth or actually apologize. Yeah. Don't go in there and be like, look, yeah, I'm sorry, but it was still that bitch's fault.
I'm sorry you made me do this.
I'm sorry your mom dying made me treat you like shit.
Yeah, what an asshole.
Right? Man. And look, I do understand there can be times you're in the middle of a flow and suddenly you get really bad news in chat and it throws the whole thing up. And like I said, I am so sorry that's happening to you. You just deal with it real fast and move on.
Yeah,
and you can spin it.
Tragedy. Deal with it.
You can spin it in a positive way, like, hey, I'm glad you're here to hang out with us. Maybe we can take your mind off it.
Yeah, the guy's just a baby, emotionally immature. So screw him.
Yeah, what a fucking dickbag, man. I could not believe the double down video. The video itself was bad enough. Like, who does that to a person? Anyway, especially when you're the asshole who asked how she's been and where she's been. What did he say? She should have said, I think how did he put it? You should have said, I've been dealing with things, something like that. And just leave it. Yeah, you shouldn't. Fuck off.
How would she know that anyway?
Well, she was a longtime viewer, so apparently she was supposed to know that you don't drop anything negative in his comments, even if it's your dead mom.
That's messed up.
That reminds me, my wife tested positive for COVID today. Oh, I hope she's all right. Really do.
Yeah.
Hope she recovers quickly.
Yeah.
All right, with that, we are wrapping up. Guys, twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for the likes, the shares, everything you guys do. We really, really do appreciate it. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop some links in the chat. As always, thank you so much for the donations, like this one from Frosted Glass, who says, grandmother, this is totally going to bring down the mood in some guy's stream. LMAO dies.
Right. Like, that's what she... fuck off, man. What a dick. I could not believe that. I just... You know what he could have done, Jack? He could have ignored it. Even ignoring it would have been better than the way he handled it. Christ almighty. Guys, thanks for watching. Twitch.tv/rantingmonkey will be over there. If you haven't hit the like button or the rumble button, please do so on your way out or as you're watching this later. We love you. We appreciate everything. You're great people. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Take care, guys. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Don't tell me about your dead mama. Keep that shit to yourself. I don't want to hear about your dead mama. Go and fuck yourself. I don't know. I don't know how you fix that song.
You got me.
You can't even make that good in a song.
No, that guy's an ass.
Here, let me finish it. That guy is a cocksucker.